This is the Zen Supermom podcast, and in the episode today, I'm going to introduce you to our second coach who's coming on board of the Zen Supermom program. So come with me, let's meet her. Hi, I'm Elena Gomez Rodriguez, and I'm a mental fitness coach for busy moms. And this is the first podcast to help you increase your stress resistance so that you can become a Zen Supermom and simply do it all while staying calm and happy. Welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. Hi, Supermom. It's Elena here, your mommy tantra specialist and the founder of the Zen Supermom system, where we help loving but stressed out moms stop yelling at your kids and set healthy boundaries while you stay calm. And why I'm doing this introduction and telling you about the Zen Supermom program is because we are having actually so much success that after doing one podcast episode where I introduced you to Sylvia, our first internal coach inside the program, today's interview is with our second coach who's coming on board, and I'm super excited. And that's why I want to introduce her to you so that you can see how amazing she is. And in case it's you who's jumping on board and you will be working with her, that you know, who is she and can I trust her? Does she have what it takes? Well, listen in to find out. So this introduction is to, and now I'm going to show her to you, is to welcome Coach Tina Jarus. And I did my best, Jarus.
Yay!
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
Hey, happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
And I have to say, so we met with Tina because I was hiring, like full transparency, you hear it from me always as it is. I was hiring. The program was becoming so big. Even Sylvia now, her client list is becoming full. I used to do all of this by myself, all of the one-to-one trauma healing sessions with the clients. It was not enough. Sylvia is getting full, not enough. So I went back to the trauma school where I learned all of those amazing trauma healing techniques on how to get rid of the generational developmental trauma. The reason why you're still yelling at your kids fast, efficiently. And I told the guys, like, hey guys, I need your best coach who can do this, who can heal the trauma using the same techniques. Please give me the names. I need somebody to help us inside the program. And that's how I connected with Tina. So yay, power of the network. So Tina, let's start there. I know you're an expat mom yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because we have lots of moms, and I don't know why, if it's because I'm an expat too, but we have lots of expatriate moms listening, and especially even if you are not an expat and maybe you're living too far from your family of origin, like nobody is helping you and it's just you yourself and the kids, like it can be tough. So do you want to share a little bit about your motherhood journey? Like, how is it to be an expat mom? How is it for you, Tina?
Yeah, it's great to be a mother. I think, motherhood is one of the toughest jobs. Nobody teaches us how to be mothers. So we're all learning through our experiences. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. But, the privileged ones are the ones who have access to help, access to people who have expertise, who've been through it. And I wish I can say that about myself when my kids were younger. I didn't have all the resources that is available right now, but I managed. I think I did a good job. I have a boy and a girl. They're 20 and 17 now. So it's different kinds of problems. Problems don't end. But I so relate to mothers who I work with and who share with me their challenges with their children. I've been through a lot, and sometimes we need a helping hand. We need to feel that we're not alone in this. And when we're in in a friendly setting or in family setting, we don't always share about our struggles. And sometimes we have the shame that comes up. Sometimes we have the guilt. Sometimes we compare. We feel envious, like, oh, her kids look perfect. she must be doing a great job. And it's not the same as when you have, someone who can, give you tips, give you techniques, teach you. We're mothers and we all want the best for our kids after all, right? So if there's, access to getting, accurate information about what needs to be developed, what needs to be changed, how can I improve? And we're talking about little things here, little changes that can take us a long way. And I experienced that personally when I was taking Lion's course, which is the same one that you took, where
Trauma
I
healing,
was,
yeah.
learning all those techniques. I was already a coach. I've been a coach for 6, 7 years now. And it was eye-opening. At first, it was difficult to,
Yeah,
yeah, you want
sorry
to
to
ask me
jump into your
something?
story, but I wanted to know, like, and feel free to answer to the level of where you feel comfortable sharing, but were you a momzilla? Like, did you used to yell at your kids? Were there times when you used to, like, lose your patience with them? Was
I
that
have a boy
ever?
and a girl. My daughter, she's the younger one. Since she was born, I always felt we were like this, me and her, butt heading. And I'm sure a
Like,
lot of
fighting?
moms are hearing now and can relate to that. At first, I used to think maybe because she's a girl, because my boy, who's older, was much more obedient, the easy child. And I was like, maybe because she's a girl and I'm a girl, and it'll pass. And then she was 4, and then she was 5, and then she was 6, and then she was 7. And no, it wasn't just that. It was realizing that it's not always about the child, it's us, it's me, it's the baggage that I'm bringing with me. I started, exploring, digging deeper. How was my childhood? Perhaps maybe what my mom taught me or the way she educated me. Now I'm probably replicating things, all subconsciously, obviously. And maybe what worked between my mom and myself doesn't necessarily work between me and my daughter. We're in a different era. Um, and so all of these started like, matching up, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant because it's, a few techniques, a few exercises. Of course, the core of all this is raising our awareness. So we become much more aware of what's happening. We become much more aware of what are the areas that I need to be focusing on, and being mindful of what's triggering me. A little girl, she's that big, can trigger me and I can become like this, monster.
Yeah,
It's crazy, the thought of it.
yeah.
So, yes, our triggers. How mindful are we of our triggers? And let's get curious about those triggers. Where are they coming from? I wasn't born that way, so they must
Yeah.
have started somewhere because of some experience. And so, yeah, so this whole work, I'm super fascinated by it. I love it because I see the results. It doesn't take months and years, like other modalities, but we go straight to the core of it. And it's really eye-opening to whoever can,
Yeah.
undergo those techniques.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I stopped your story there where you were saying how eye-opening it was for you when you started learning those trauma healing techniques.
Yeah.
Because when we go to the course, we actually have to be the client first so that we know how it feels. So what was it for you when you started using it on yourself first? What was
So
your
I
biggest
started
like?
I started realizing that, hey, before thinking about who's triggering you, whether it's your child or anyone else, look at yourself.
Yeah.
That's where it all begins,
And that hurts the ego, right? Because I don't know how about you. For me, it
Ooh,
was extreme. Like, I'm doing my best. What do you mean I'm not doing enough or what?
of course. And me, I consider I've had a very good childhood myself,
Yeah.
I've had a very stable upbringing. It couldn't be me, you know. But then, yeah, when you scratch the surface, you start discovering, there are so many things we've been through, and we're not here to blame our parents. We're not here to hold anyone responsible, hey, we're all humans. We're all trying our best. Again, there's no manual of how to be the best mom. But there are little ways that can, light up this bulb and make us realize that, okay, wow, so if I do this differently, the outcome is going to change. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it changes. So going back to what I was saying about my daughter, we were like this. And then after a certain age, I realized that the only way is to put myself in her shoes and to, of course, come to terms with my triggers. And the whole dynamics changed. The whole dynamics changed. Communication became much more fluid. She got closer to me. She used to like push me away when she was much younger. And now, I hope, one day you guys will meet my daughter. She's 17 and she's like a friend of mine. We get along. We talk very openly. She shares with me. We all care about, being the confidant for our children. So it's great to achieve this. And when I see the result now, they're teenagers. Well, my son is 20 already. Many times I sit with myself and I'm like, you did a great job. All what you went through paid off. And I want to reassure any mom who's listening right now, when our kids are young and we're finding it so hard to manage raising them, don't look for gratitude then. It's not gonna come. Our children will not be grateful at that age. They don't even have the level of maturity for this, but keep doing the work, keep making the effort, and you're going to reach an age where it will pay off and you're going to get that gratitude that you're looking for, that
You'll
recognition.
Get the payback. And then I guess the best payback will be one day when we see them with their kids and we are grandmas and we see all the... That's the dream. Okay, but back to the earth. Because you were mentioning something, you're talking about, okay, cleaning up the triggers. Rather than blaming it on your daughter, you realize like, okay, there's something in me that's getting triggered that didn't start with my daughter. But then I get the clients, I'll be playing the devil's advocate here, if I may.
Yeah.
Because we get to the point that they admit like, okay, there are some things, okay, I had a happy childhood, or yeah, duh, I had a trauma. But even when I clean that up, I'm still in this stressful situation. Like I have this pressure from my job. I'm an expat mom. I'm a single or a divorced expatriate mom. Like there's so much pressure, and as well, like financially, how do I not put this stress on my kids? Because I get it. When I'm stressed out, everything is more difficult with them. When I'm calm, everything is fine. But I cannot. How can you be calm? How do you do that? So
you know what it is?
You're going through something,
there's something called the window of tolerance. Each one has a window of tolerance. And that window of tolerance is expandable. It's like an elastic band. And the more we work on our mental state and mental fitness, and the more we gain awareness, and the more we are aware of our triggers, and we learn how to start responding differently and not just reacting, this window of tolerance grows. And that's how, yes, stresses don't stop in life. I was a single mom. I was not financially off. I had 2 kids on my own. I had the job too. I was a career woman. And you need to expand your window of tolerance. And you can only do this through this kind of work. And the bigger your window, the more capacity you have to take on stresses, losses, changes. I'm an expat now, and I know there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of changes, a lot of adaptation. And so you start having the capacity to embrace much more than before. And this is amazing because this applies to every area of your life, in your career, in your relationships. I'm not talking only intimate relationships, colleagues, manager, even driving on the street and someone, just passing in front of you. How do you respond? Do you snap, or do you just take a breath and smile to that person and keep going? So these are all things that add up. And yes, it's all about, doing the actual work.
Yeah. And I love how you're describing it as a window of tolerance, because this is exactly what we do with mental fitness. We are increasing that ability to take on the stress. At the same time, I want to add, this is not an invitation for anybody to drive yourself to a burnout and basically kill yourself with doing more. Okay. We are not inviting here
Absolutely
any moms
not.
to do more.
No. Because
we are not saying you're not doing enough.
But we have to be mindful of our boundaries and our capacity. Maybe you can work 20 hours a day. I can't work more than 10, We need to be respectful of our own tank. We're not all the same, and we shouldn't compare ourselves to everyone.
Yeah. I'm curious, did you ever face, get it close to a burnout? Have you ever got to that point when you would be driving too hard?
Not really. I've always respected myself. I've always been mindful of that, and I so honor this, and I really, really encourage every person to be mindful of your needs and your capacity and your limits. You can stretch those limits, just like you said, but do respect how much you can take on. We're not supposed to be superwomen, we're not superpowers here. We all need support. We should all be able to say no to things. And we'll always have a choice. I'm sorry. We always have a choice. If something doesn't serve us, we should exclude it. And I'm sure, each one picks the battle that they want to, go for. But yeah, keep, respecting your own needs and your own capacity.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. This is so important. And then setting the boundaries and saying no.
Yes.
And we have so many episodes of this podcast and everything about that, because it's so hard for all the good girls and people pleasers and everything that our moms taught us, never say no, always smile.
Think of the other before yourself.
Exactly, because it's selfish to take care of yourself first, or say what you need and ask for help. I've been there, done that, all of this. I bet many moms who are listening now, they can identify with that. So I would like to flip now and focus more on your professional career, because you'll be not just this calm, wise presence inside the program, but you will be doing the one-to-one sessions with the clients, with the Zen Supermom clients inside. And I have full confidence, and I'm so thrilled that you're hopping in.
Very excited.
Because you have a lot of experience. How many hours? I was reading your bio. Was it
1,400 now. 1,400 coaching hours. And mind you, they're all one-on-ones. I love working one-on-ones. I love this intimate setting. I love giving the person this space where they can, feel free about expressing themselves and working intimately to, reduce those challenges that they're going through. I find it very rewarding as a coach, and I love being on the journey with people and being able to make, even if it's just a little difference, but I'm sure it'll go a long way. So my background, my professional background, academic professional background, before I was a coach, it's in marketing communication. I worked in the TV industry for 25 years. I have many hats. We're not going to get into all of them, being a mother as well. But I got into coaching, which what we're talking about now, 6 years ago. I decided I wanted to be a certified coach, professional coach. I want to do it the proper way. I'm someone very, integrity is one of my top values. So I value things that are done, at a professional standard. So I was doing one-on-one coaching, and then in coaching, you keep learning. It's a nonstop learning journey.
It is.
And slowly, I got more interested in trauma work in everything that we go through when we're children, how it marks us, what's the difference between conscious and subconscious. And so this is when I took the Clear Belief certification, where I learned all those magical techniques. And to add to that, I just got my trauma informed certified coach degree like 6 months ago. Again, it added more tools and more know-how to working with trauma. I've also done an NLP practitioner certification, timeline therapy. So yeah, so I think
There's a lot.
there's a lot, but you know what matters? What matters is the experience, what I'm doing in those sessions with these people.
And that's
It's
what I would love to hear about. That's what I would love to hear about, because when I say in my free trainings to all those moms, many of them have already tried talk therapy or even timeline therapy, EMDR, CBT. I always tell them, like, I have a lot of respect for all of my colleagues, and I know there are lots of amazing professionals. And that being said, if you are coming here, if you are listening to podcasts and resources on how to stop being a yelling mom, that tells me it didn't really help you fully. There's still some anger that goes back, and it's not really related to your child. Your child triggers it, but it didn't start with your kid. And we can help you heal that in just a few sessions.
Yes.
And they freak out at that point because they're like, what? Too good to be true. So I would like to hear some of your experiences.
Oh yeah.
Working with trauma, because they don't believe me, or many of them do, that's why they join, but there's still like big group of people who don't believe me that we can heal in one session one trauma. They're like, I did years of therapy, I understand what happened, but I still get triggered by it. I still get all these emotions.
Yeah.
So what has been maybe some of your most powerful experiences?
Those techniques are very powerful. And when someone, gets into this, those exercises or those processes, let's call them, they don't know what the outcome is going to be. It's not, like voodoo or anything that is, out of the ordinary.
Not a hypnotherapy, you will still know what you're doing. Yeah.
It's not even hypnotherapy. So there's no altered state. Everyone remains, super conscious, and they're talking, and we ask them questions, they answer, but something happens. This opens up. We're able to tap into the core of what happened, and not only what happened, how it kept producing everything that they're doing today as adults, because they're not children anymore, right? But they're not aware of that. And yes, it's very powerful because, someone comes to me thinking that it's, here on this level. And in just 1 or 2 sessions, they realize it's down there. They examined it. They know what put it there. They know how it should be removed, and they get it removed. So it is wow, of course, there are so many techniques, and there's so many, as you said, modalities in the world. Some things work better on different people. It's very personal, it's very individual, but this work is very powerful. And nobody wants to be a yelling mom, and nobody wants to be remembered by their child that, oh, you were a difficult child, or you gave me a hard time, because this alone is traumatizing to the child. So we don't want to repeat those cycles from one generation to the other. We are used to hearing something from our own mothers, and we just repeat it because that's what we know. And it's reintroducing the same harm with the same results. And them too, once they're going to have their own children, they're probably going to keep doing this. So how amazing is it for us to decide, I want to break this. I'm breaking this pattern, and I want to introduce something healthier, something fun. I want to enjoy being a mother. I don't want it to be a burden on me. I want to remember it as one of the best times of my life. And I want my kids to remember that too, in that same perception. So, so yes, I mean, I would do anything to be able to have gone back when my children were younger, where
Yeah.
when I didn't know, and do the work. It's a very insignificant investment compared to the great outcome, and it's available. So
Yeah.
why
We
not?
have the luxury, like our parents didn't, but we do. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, and it's online. We're not asking someone to fly to to do this work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a no-brainer, I think.
Yeah. And thank you
Yeah.
for being part of that mission, Tina, because with all of your
Mm.
expertise and experience, you could have chosen to spend your time helping anybody, really. But I'm really
I'm
happy
looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm
you're
really
coming
looking
in.
forward to that. Excited.
So, any last words, any last inspiration, words of wisdom from like such an experienced
You
mom,
know,
expatriate moms of two kids? What is it that you would want our moms to leave with today?
I think if anyone is listening to this podcast, that means they have this inkling that they want to make improvement. And this is amazing. And just that, I commend you for that, because it all starts there. It's this realization that I can do better. I can learn. I can seek help. And yes, do go for it. And already this is a great step. And then you're going to see, once you're going to take the program, it's going to be magical. They are fun techniques. You're going to learn so much about your own self. I mean, I discovered so many things about myself during that specific certification. Um, so yeah, and trust the process, and trust that you will be able to be the best mom that you can be. Don't let those saboteurs come in, those doubts,
Voices
those
in your head. Yeah.
voices in your head telling you you're not good enough, telling you, you will never be the best mom, your kids will never, appreciate this from you. Don't let any of this, this buzzing sounds come in. And we're going to help you to shield yourself and to strengthen yourself and to gain more confidence in your own ability as a mother. It'll all come in. I promise you, it'll all come in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tina. It was amazing
Thank
having you
you.
here. Thank you. And you, super moms, I hope you're getting out some of that enthusiasm that we try to share with you. And we look forward to seeing you inside. Yeah. Bye, everybody.